So again, you guys already know who I am. So I'm a constructor and head of our partnerships for Europe and APAC, but I'm not the star of the show today. It's all about this man over here. So do you want to introduce yourself and explain your role and what you do at Finnish Design Shop?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Kristian, work as head of data and strategic insight. So I have two responsibilities. I'm leading the data operations at Finnish Design Shop and additionally working at our strategy team on various initiatives and trying to get alignment what we should do on short term and long term. But yeah, working with data and strategic initiatives would be my role at Finnish Design Shop.
Perfect. So I think we should clarify what we're going to talk about a little bit about today. So we're going to look at Kristian's composable journey to date, where they started, what they've done so far, and some of the validated results that you've seen. So Kristian, when you got started on your transformation, why did you decide to invest in search and discovery first?
Yeah, good question. I could just say briefly a few words about Finnish Design Shop. I know there are international guests here today as well. So we are an e-com from Finland, been in the business for 21 years, selling design, furniture, and lighting and decor. And we are approximately 120 people, and our revenue is around 60 million, and 70% of that is coming from abroad. But you said that what drove us to make our investment in search and discovery. So I think there was a driver, which was conversion. So we had an initiative around conversion. We should increase our conversion rate, and it was split into 3 streams, out of which one was UI and UX improvement. So we did some modernization on our site, and there we identified a gap that we felt that our site is quite static. We are not able to react to trends, and we are not able to react to user preferences. So that was also one driver to make the investment into product discovery. But also from a process perspective, the merchant or merchandiser, our users were not able to do merchandising on our site. They felt that they don't have the tool that supports them to boost a campaign start or merchandise the site in such a way that they would like to do. So I think there were 3 drivers: the conversion increase, we wanted to have a better user experience, and then improve the process as well.
Perfect. So there was also some mentions as well around personalization too. So it's keen to understand, how does your personalization in action look like on the site, and how has the user experience evolved?
Yeah. So personalization in action, we could take a look at it. So I think this session will be quite practical. So here's something like a customer journey. So we have an intent. A user wants to buy a cushion, and it's a returning user, and her taste in this case, she likes colors, prints, and patterns. And then the user action would be that the user lands on the site, and then we will walk through 2 maybe a little bit silly cases, but I want to demonstrate how the personalization works in action. And then as an e-com, our problem is the problem we try to solve is which product should we show in order to drive conversion. Or on the other hand, the question could be that how can we deliver a better user experience based on the intent that we know? So constructor asked me that could you prepare like a before and after picture? So I did that. So on the left hand side we have the old way. So we served a static page. This was served to every customer, and it looked something like this. There was a clear that it was the best sellers brought on top, and in this case we are showing quite dark cushions in this case. But the new way, as we have the intent from previous session, we know that this customer likes colors and patterns, so we can immediately serve more relevant products. So what constructor does on the back end, it calculates probabilities, which is the product that has the highest probability to convert, and what is the product's probability to be added to the cart. So on the back end, there's a lot of mathematics, but for the user, it looks something like this. So we are immediately able to leverage the intent that we have gathered from the customer. And as the customer journey continues, maybe the customer goes to a campaign landing page. She has interacted with the cushions that we saw previously. So in the case, we can show the cushions on various landing pages and understand that these are the products that the customer most likely will buy. So I think this was one of the practical examples that we will be showing today.
I mean, that looks amazing, so congrats on that. We've talked a little bit today around how you actually evaluate vendors. How do you come to establish that you want to work with someone like Constructor? Obviously, I'm talking to you from Constructor today. How did your partnership take shape with us?
Yeah. So I think we have seen quite many of these timelines today, but let's show one more. So we had a goal of increasing conversion rate and improve the customer experience. It was early 2024. And then Iona Mikko introduced us to Constructor. We met Constructor CEO in a call. It was a 15-minute pitch where we saw the tool in action, and in that call, Constructor CEO Eli told that he's not the best salesperson in the world, but what he's good at making tangible impact on the KPI that we care about. And as a data person, that resonated with me quite well, and I was quite convinced after 5 minutes that this could be a good thing. But of course, the process involved talking to various vendors and such. But with Constructor, the next step was the big question that what value can Constructor bring? And this is done via something Constructor calls proof schedule. And there we discuss what is the KPI we want to optimize and what kind of impact are we expecting and such. And then we had the implementation this spring. I think the implementation took 4 weeks or something like that. We had a proper A/B test during summer, early summer, and then now we are in a continuous optimization and learning phase. So we are our Constructor data science team is optimizing the algorithm to suit our business case or business needs, I would say. And of course, as we have implemented something new, we put a lot of emphasis on learning how to work with this new tool and technology.
Perfect. So you mentioned the pre-schedule there. It's a little bit unique in terms of what we go through. How was that experience for your team?
So the pre-schedule where we try to answer that what value can Constructor bring to us. So we install something on our site so that Constructor can collect clickstream data on our site, and the collector collects data for maybe 2 weeks, and after that Constructor comes with a proposal on what they think that works on our site and what doesn't work and what they could improve. And in that discussion they also brought the magic number. So our magic number was 3% conversion increase site-wide. So that was the target we agreed on. But it was a data-driven process where we laid the foundation that what kind of impact Constructor can create.
Perfect. So that was obviously in the pre-sales environment. You're obviously now live with Constructor. What results have really stood out for you since your launch?
Yeah, let's look at the results. So we did an A/B test for 57 days. It sounds long. I wanted to do a 3-week maximum, but we had to increase the time frame due to get statistically relevant results. But here I did some coding, and I can decode the KPIs for you. So the top one is conversion, which was agreed on that we should get that 3% lift on. Second one is AOV, and then the third one is revenue. And we can see that this is like the cumulative lift, the constructor version against the old version. So I think we got positive impact on all KPIs, and I think it's good to look at time series data. So here is quite interesting time series. The top line, the KPI 3, the sales impact, we had a sales lift of quite big in the beginning, but there is a logical explanation to that. There were some really big orders coming from abroad in the early days, which skewed the data, and in the results they were outliers. But as we can see, that positive impact on all KPIs, and I think we aimed for a 3% conversion increase, and which would be a 3% increase in site-wide revenue, but I think we almost doubled that in the A/B test. So we are quite happy with the results we received.
That's great. I mean, we've heard today like a transformation journey doesn't just stop. You're not finished. So beyond these initial great results, you mentioned earlier on you're running some continuous optimization programs. Can you share what those kind of look like and any learnings that you've had so far?
Yeah. So the continuous optimization, this was something also that I liked when Constructor introduced themselves. So they said that the initial lift will be this, but when we continue the continuous optimization program, we can receive this number, and we are working towards the phase 2 number, let's say like that. So the continuous optimization is, of course, we learning more about what good product recommendations look to us and what's important for us. But on the other hand, it's also working together with the Constructor data science team. So the Constructor data science team does continuous A/B testing, and we have tested maybe here during the few months we have worked together, half a year maybe. We have done maybe 5 A/B tests. So the first one, which I showed here is a search re-ranker. It sounds quite technical and awful, but it's quite simple. We reorganize the search results. For example, how stock level should affect to search results. And with that A/B test, we were able to get double-digit impact on our KPIs. So small tests like this are quite important, and the effect will compound, and maybe towards the end of the year we can see quite hopefully phase 2 numbers already. But then important topic for us is geo-optimization. So we sell to 180 countries. So we want to group countries together. So let's say the Northern American segment or region, and Europe and maybe Asia would be levels of geo-optimization. So we have done quite much on this topic. So we have done one A/B test on this. So we try to learn from what people in Asia are clicking on, and provide better product recommendations to that region. And as well, this had good impact on the numbers. But then also we have received requests from the business. This is like something we will deploy hopefully this week, is view similar products. So to help the customer when she or he is shopping, that to show a similar product. So this was just an idea that came up, that we would like to have this on our product pages. So are you constructor able to help? So they said that yes, we have this feature and we will enable that. So that's something the business is very happy about, or the merchandising team is happy about, that they will get this hopefully this week. So through A/B testing and learning, we are optimizing continuously.
Perfect. I think the A/B testing and the scale stuff's really interesting with the geo-personalization. As you mentioned, you're a small team. So we've talked about AI quite a lot, doing more with less. So can you explain how the AI works behind the scenes and how the AI and the human element of the merchandiser work together?
Let's take a look. So I will start with like how AI adapts to trends. So here is one use case which happened during the A/B test. So there was a news article in Helsingin Sanomat about a brand we are representing and selling. So that news article was published on Saturday night, and then on Sunday we got quite a lot of traffic. People searching for the brand name and maybe Googling and coming from Google into our site in Finland. So what I saw on Monday morning, I saw that Constructor had boosted the brand on various pages and tried to highlight that brand, that this is relevant now. So what the impact was of this small thing that the AI did, it improved the brand visibility and product discoverability in Finland. And I think this case maybe didn't generate that much of sales impact, but if we can get this working every day and we maybe get 1 or 2 orders more each day, it will have a good impact on the sales figures as well. So I like this one when I looked at Constructor the Monday morning after. But then maybe more on the topic that how the merchandiser and AI works together. So I think the UI is quite good. It has the relevant insights, so we can from one view we can see what is performance, how many clicks, add to carts this page is generating, and what's working and what's not working. And then of course we have the insight, but then the key is to act on the insight. So the acting part, the AI does a lot in the background. It creates boosting and bury rules in the background and calculates item attractiveness, which are levels of optimization. But then, of course, the merchandiser can create manual rules or override the AI rules. So I think this is one example that AI does the heavy lifting, but if the merchandiser is not happy with the results, then he or she can act on that information. But here I typed like there are 4 levels of optimization, so it's quite many. Even though we are talking about personalization, it's just 1 level of optimization and how we try to help the user to find relevant products.
Brilliant. So there's normally data on this. It's been anonymized for the avoidance of doubt for the purpose today. So you've implemented, we've done continuous optimization. The journey doesn't stop. What's next for you in terms of discovery and personalization?
Yeah, I think we have taken baby steps, and I think this is my favorite chart. So it's a lot of problems. So I think my job is to solve problems, and I see everything as a problem. So this chart is good. It helps me to understand that of what kind of components is a good customer or user experience built out of. So I think with Constructor we have touched on finding the right style and overwhelmed by choice and such questions. Maybe we didn't fully solve them yet, but we have touched on them, touched on those topics, and we have many different questions and concerns that we tried to solve. But I think that what made our partnership well and why we did receive a good impact. I think typically in the awareness consideration phase, we have a lot of traffic, and if we can make a small change there, it typically has a good impact on the results. So I enjoy that space to work in, even though if there are retention is also an important and interesting part, but I find typically my time is spent on the awareness and consideration phase. But then regarding product discovery, next phases is about learning, enriching product data. So I think we heard some good discussions about AI agents and whatnot, but I think what we have to do is enriching the product data in order to give agents the correct context about our products. And how, of course, it's related how to improve the foundations. Then maybe a concrete or next step is to focus on the cross-channel recommendations. So we have worked on site, but how to do it on email and various other channels and utilize Constructor or the recommendation engine we have built together, or they built and utilizes our data maybe. And then the big topic is also generative AI. So how to build a user experience that users love and want to return to. And maybe for me, I want to build something that will have a huge or big impact on will customer buy or not, or will they convert or not. So finding something in together with or using generative AI is my next step as well.
Yeah, it's exciting times at Finnish Design Shop. So one final question. You've gone through this journey, a period of reflection now. So looking back on the journey, what would you say was your biggest takeaway from going through this journey so far?
Yeah, I think this was like our first step towards composable commerce. I think it helped that the process was quite data-driven, and we were able to do an incremental project. It was not a transformative project. It was just we took a step towards the right direction. We were able to show that what good looks like and learn more. And now we are taking second steps after that. But maybe the learning was to small steps can have a huge impact also, would be one learning. And then I think also, I think that would be if you have to say one.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. Fantastic journey and great results. I'm sure you're all going to go have a look at the Finnish Design website now and look at the future journey as well. But thank you for your time. And thank you for listening to us.
Okay.
Thank you, Kristian and Mark, for sharing this journey. I really loved hearing the concrete results and seeing what you've done together. Any questions or comments from the audience?
Thank you, and thank you for the presentation. I was really interested to see that you had the constructor optimization team working alongside your team, and there were coming results from them. Were they working in conjunction with your own CRO teams, or do you have that capability in-house and this was on top of it, or was this instead of?
We're working, we have weeklies with the team, so it's me and then the merchandiser who are involved on our side, and the optimization initiatives, some has come from constructor team and some has been our ideas that we are telling that how our business works. And for example, shipping, we have free shipping in various markets, but then on the other ones we don't have. So telling about how our business, how we operate in various markets, and then trying to brainstorm good A/B test ideas would be the model. And then we look at the results and try to find And of course, I showed like good examples. We had some that we had to shut down after 3 days and recalibrate and start from scratch. But yeah, that is the model that we work with the team.
So this was also your first venture into A/B testing, let's say, at your company in this way?
No, we have done A/B test, but maybe not. This is like quite granular A/B testing, so not on this granularity. It has been maybe a little bit bigger changes that we have A/B tested, but it's not new. But yeah.
Thank you. Interesting.
Yep.
Any more questions? Because I had, there.
Hello, I have a question exactly on this granular A/B testing. In order to calculate the incremental revenue that all the personalization brings, you need to do A/B testing. So do you always have sufficient traffic, even if you're doing a very small segment and you're testing something in Asia? Do you have sufficient traffic to do a significant or a relevant A/B test?
Good question. That was mainly one reason why the big A/B test, the initial A/B test, was so long. So we wanted to have statistically significant results on conversion, and we had to run it as the lift was around 3%. We had to run it quite long, and that was a good thing. We did it properly, even though I was in a hurry to get it done in 3 weeks. But when it comes to the A/B tests that we have been running, we look at various metrics. We don't just look at the conversion, getting statistically significant results on conversion. It can be tricky, but we look at add to carts, and then those who add to cart, do they convert? So there is more of those events. But that said, in the A/B tests that have been successful, typically the lift is like 15% or 20%. So we don't need that big sample size on the A/B tests. But then the results could be also that the results are not having a significant impact. So then maybe we don't go live with that feature. But yeah, typically we get statistically significant results on add to cart. And if we do get them on conversion, it's a big impact.
Would there be any advice you'd give to someone who'd be interested in this type of a journey? Anything to think before looking into technologies like Constructor?
Yeah, I think it's always good to start with the user. I think it has been highlighted here today. But what problem are we trying to solve for the user, and how does it affect user journeys? So I think that would be. And also, if you're going to the personalization game and you aren't there yet, I would also think about holistically that how do we want to run personalization across channels. Maybe you start as we did on the site, but I would plan the whole or have a holistic picture as well, even though you start with on-site personalization.
Yeah, interesting. If there is no more questions from the audience, thank you, Kristian and Mark, for sharing your presentation.
Thank you.